Hey, hello everyone, it's Richard. I don't fear God. Do you? In this video, I'll explain why. Hi again, this is Richard, and these are my opinions. So, from very small, we are told that we should love God with all our hearts. But we are also told that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. However, a lot of persons have told me that I am wise. So, am I not wise? Because, as I said, I don't fear God. And here is my reasoning. So, first off, let's deal with the paradox, logical paradox that this argument presents. Love God and fear God. So, let's say a person who fears height, right? You wouldn't expect to see them crawling to somewhere high, deliberately crawling to somewhere high. It just doesn't make sense because, of course, they fear that. So they wouldn't love heights and fear heights at the same time. Acrophilia is literally the opposite of acrophobia. So, I don't know. So it's a paradox because you'd be godophiliac phobic. Doesn't make any sense. So let's talk about language then. Language. Alright. So we know that in language, some language facilitates certain things or other languages don't. Like for example, in some languages, there's a different word for romantic love, different from brotherly love, different from love for your friends, different from love for an item, different from love for a game. Take Spanish. It has two words, chucar and tucar, I think. Yeah. Jucar and tucar. Yeah. One means, I think tucar means to play a game, and then tucar means to play an instrument. Don't quote me, I may be wrong. But one word means to play a game, one word means to play an instrument. And that's the point. In English, we have one word which means to play. One word for play. So whether we're talking about playing a game or an instrument, we use the same word, play. Right? So when we translate that to another language, they might use the wrong term. So for example, suppose we said we were going to play a drum. But in playing a drum, we actually mean a game called drum. Right? Follow me now. So maybe in this game we pretend to beat a drum and then use our mouths to make the sound. So we are not actually playing an instrument. We are playing a game. Okay, cool. Cool. So, but when they translate that, they translate it into Spanish, for example, to play an instrument. Because they say, okay, from this drum, then it must be to play an instrument. So it loses its context, right? So now, when that's translated to another person try to understand it and try to imagine what's happening, they're imagining somebody playing actual drums when the writer did not intend to give that impression, right? Cool. So, how does this relate to me not fearing God? Well, it goes back to the word fear and the word respect. These are very different words. They're very different words, especially in English, right? You can, for example, you can say you respect your wife, but you don't fear her, right? You say you respect your husband, you don't fear him. You say you respect your boss, and you might fear your boss because, you may respect him, but, you can fire him, so there's a bit of fear there. But, to, in many languages, these two words, even though they may seem like such different concepts to you, in English, maybe the same word is used to denote both. And I think that's the case in this situation. So, when the word was being translated from its original language by slave masters, mark you, right? They probably know that the word could have been translated as fear, as respect, as reverence, a few words. And they said, which word would best suit our needs? We're not mistranslating it. We're just choosing the translation that suits our need. And then a translator looking at it might say, yes, that's what it says, right? But is that what the writers meant to say? Is that what they meant by what they are saying? So what I think happened is that they think that fear would work better for what they needed the Bible for, right? And so they said the fear of God is the beginning of all the wisdom. Instead of the reverence to God or the respect of God is the beginning of all wisdom. And I respect God. Don't fear him. But there are some persons who should fear him. Persons who are sinning, persons who are doing evil thoughts, having evil deeds, those persons who are doing wickedness, they should fear him because he's going to punish them. But if you are not doing something wrong, then why would God need to punish you? And hence, why would you need to fear him? You fear a bully because he will do you something without a warning, right? And without even being provoked. But God is not like that. He gave you a certain rules, and out of respect and reverence to him, you are going to follow these rules, right? So, why would you fear him? He's not going to say, okay, well, you're following my rules, so I'm going to punish you now. That's not how it works. Another thing, remember what I said about fear and love being opposite? A lot of these Christians and a lot of people who claim that they fear God are stupid because they want to go to heaven, the one place in existence, right, that it is known that that's where God is. That's where God exists. That's where he always is, right? So what I'm saying is, if you fear God, why would you want to go to heaven where he is, right? It doesn't add up, right? So think about what you're saying. And you're going to say, well, we don't mean we fear him because he's going to do us something. But that's what fear means. If that's not what you mean, say what you mean and mean what you say. Stop using words and thinking that people should understand what you mean when you are saying something other than what you mean. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Because, and here's the thing, older folks, they'll still be saying, oh, I fear God and this and that and the other thing. But the younger folks that are coming up hear this word, fear, and that's what they think they need to do, especially children. They think they need to fear God. So probably if they saw God, they're like, start trembling, right? and get scared, probably asking their mother to protect them from God, right? So we need to think about what we are saying and try and say what we mean and mean what we say. I'm Richard Lawrence, and these were my opinions.